Good morning. I'm Jay.
Morning, Jay.
Thanks for coming out and gaming this morning.
Definitely. This is an early morning thing. It's one of these things I've always done late at night. It's an interesting change.
Yeah, well, you'll find once you feel like you get more done in a day because you just got like a couple hours of gaming first thing in the morning, and then you're like the rest of your day is open. That's why I set it up this way.
All right, that works.
So glad you can make it. What character did you make? Mettel?
Yeah, I made Mettel.
Okay, Mettel.
Bill
Perfect.
struck me as a little silly for the way you were writing the world, so I went over to Mettel.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it's it's my Gotham City, I guess.
It has been my hobby for longer than I care to think about. I played Megs like way back, and I've been playing a modified version for so long. I'm trying to remember all the straight Megs rules.
That's great that you've been playing. This is my first experience with.
Here's the thing. The thing is this. I'm James.
James, okay.
But I go by my middle name, which is unfortunately Andy.
Andy. Right? Okay.
So
well,
that may cause a little bit of confusion. I'm happy to go by James because it doesn't hurt me to use that name. But the thing is it doesn't click in my head immediately that that's my name because I
Now
don't
you
go
resolve
by
on the screen as Andy, brother. You should be cool.
yeah, yep. It pops up as Andy. And I end up calling you guys by your character names, anyways.
Yeah, I am okay. My problem is I'm really struggling with my character.
Well, that's
I have a concept that I'm actually pretty happy with. I thought we were only 250 points, but then White Rabbit's 450.
We are 450.
Oh, okay.
He was asking about points, and I was comparing it to champions. That Meg's 450 is champions 250 is what I was dishing out to Mr. White, and he can't make it today. He posted today that he can't make it with his player.
My idea is like an insect guy. I'm kind of going for communicate, control, and if I can afford it, maybe a little animal mimicry to mimic insect powers. I'm a happy-go-lucky guy who's vaguely creepy because like insects will crawl over me from time to time just cuz. But I'm like, let's do this. I mean, I'm happy and want to help, but I'm innately just squeaky.
Yep. What is so you look like an insect, right? Not a person?
No, I look like a normal guy. It's just once in a while, like insects are in my clothes and near me like constantly. So once in a while, like a centipede will crawl off over my face, across my eye, and into my mouth, and I don't even notice.
Yep, kind of. Okay. And how did you come by those powers? That's the key here.
Because I read what you put in there about how that. I honestly like it as I have some kind of infection from an alien-style insect, like you said, those meteors that occasionally came from the sky with it's basically Smallville kryptonite kind of thing.
Exactly. I call them meteor shards, alien shards. They've been called. They're little green shards, and known phenomena that's happened occasionally is one striking someone and embedding in them, and that's how they came about their powers. There's also some organizations that's an open question.
Oh, so my thought was like one of those shards hit me, but came through an insect to hit me, so it kind of merged me with that.
Yeah, sure.
Like collective consciousness of insects kind of idea. So they're my buds, and I'm their bud.
Model, sure.
Okay, and we start in Capital City, but wealth. Where are you at? Where do you live? What's your day like? What does your day not superheroing look like? Do you even have one? Do you?
Keep in mind this is still a work in progress, so we're talking it out as we do this. But I'm perfectly. I honestly see him more as the street level kind of guy. Okay. So I live in a tenement. I work day jobs when I can catch them.
Okay.
I tend to creep out my coworkers, so it's hard to keep a job for longer than a couple of weeks.
Sure. So
But
we'll
the thing
plop
is
you down
again,
here. We'll plop
I'm
you
not
down.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna. North Elmview is south of the river, almost all the way east. If you have the city map.
Do not have the city map. I mean, I'm more than happy to go get it.
Oh, I'm gonna see if I can post it up
Okay, just
with
to
a
let you.
with a screen share. I think. Mhm.
What? Oh, sorry.
Enthusiasm is encouraged.
Which would have been a little bit more appropriate.
Andy, as far as Meg's math and building the character and making it all work within points, I'm really good at this. So if you want basically to talk to bugs, some insect control, I get you on the cosmetic bit. What was the other power you were aiming at?
Oh no, I'm actually pretty good at this too. I mean, I haven't done it for a while, but I'm pretty rusty.
Do you have the character creator? I found that actually a useful piece of software to kick things out quickly.
I saw the character creator. I didn't pick it up.
When you get a chance. Well, I guess it's more. I like when I make my own character, putting pencil to paper. But as a game master, I like that tool.
All right, so I just made a quick spreadsheet so I can keep track of my numbers. Animal handling, animal control, animal summoning. I don't need my summoning very high because, it's a range-based thing, and as long as you're on planet Earth, finding an insect is not difficult. Keep in mind, these aren't supposed to be attacks or anything. These are more like utility powers. Like, I send insects to do spying jobs. I say, hey, dude, what have you seen, sort of stuff. It's not meant as an attack power. The other power that I was mentioning is I'm toying with animal mimicry.
Yep.
And limiting it to insects, but I didn't yet because I was trying to keep it under 250. And
no, you can make this
right.
full
But
on.
that was a misunderstanding I had, and I can obviously have a lot more wiggle room. But this is the basic what I have.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, so it's nice and solid. I just made sure I had 2 and everything, so I wasn't lacking anything, and I was going to start bumping stuff up as I went along. That's just where I am right now.
Okay. 2s are a normal dude, right? If you have a 2 at everything, this makes you the total man in the street, no smarter, no faster.
Right. That's where that's my baseline. I just wanted to put those numbers in there to secure those things.
Mm-hmm.
That's not where I'm sticking.
Okay.
I want to bump up my intellect. How friendly, hostile are you guys towards linking things?
This is my first time running the system.
It's cheesy. It can be very, very cheesy to link everything.
Downsides to linking, right? Linking is a lot of power up front, and then it's really, really expensive to increase the character later.
It
right?
is.
So
right.
It's a big up front bump, and then it hurts you.
Let me go find my coffee.
But where I was linking not powers, but skills. Because honestly, the idea of linking skills makes a lot more rational sense to me than linking powers. Because, as you train your body and such.
Well, if you think about it, right? Green Lantern is why they wrote the link. It was about Green Lantern. And, the classic Hal Jordan that everything was attached to his will. And it was... The guy that actually wrote the original Meg system wrote tons and tons of notes on this. And that's kind of the premise. But Starbuck, if you watched the new Galacticas a few years ago, she was all skill links. Right? So, anyway, you have a ton more points than you thought you had to play with.
Yeah.
I like where you're at. You should be able to pretty simply afford that animal mimicry you were talking about. But, take a minute, bump those numbers up, because, you'll get killed with those physical numbers. Well, mimicry on there. Well, you're most of the way there.
Yeah, that was my thought. Because, like I said, I was working with like 200 number points less than I thought I was, so it was a much bigger struggle for me originally.
These street level characters are really going to slot in easily with where I'm starting.
Okay.
The campaign for you guys. You are the second group ever going through this campaign city that I made up. I started... When did I start? I can figure that out from the group, but say ran 17 sessions of Champions. I wanted to find out if it was a game I could run or not.
Right.
Because when I was in high school, I had a hell of a time with it. And I just wanted to put it to bed. Is the superheroes game I want to run? I didn't like it at all. It was very hard to do.
I love Champions. I mean, it's not for everybody. I'll be the first to tell you that, but I love Champions.
Okay. I don't, as a game master, I did not enjoy running combat.
Yep. Champions gets too caught in its own details.
That's and I made a blog post about the experience where I walked away. Yeah. And Andy, this is not a slight at all, but like you say you like Champions, because none of those players, well, my friend Randy, he'll play anything, but the other players involved, when I said I'm gonna let you guys 2 weeks heads up, I'm not happy with this system, I'm not enjoying myself, and I'm going to switch, and you guys can convert your characters, it's really easy, blah 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 blah. None of them they're like, okay, thanks.
So
because they play Champions, because you like Champions.
It's like politics or football.
I actually completely get that, just because I have a Champions group that was face to face up until very recently for pretty obvious reasons.
Right.
But but everybody who's in that game are people who've been playing Champions like since high school. It's not a game that is very open-armed. It's a game that if you've been there from the beginning, they're hardcore people. But if you haven't been,
did you guys see a map just pop up, and it's really.
Yep. I just see a graph paper and a RuneScape.
Yeah, that's as far as I got. You're looking at a derelict warehouse or industrial space. The black line on the right is the end of what would be the harbor or frontage road along the Stewart River. So north is actually to your right and south is to the left. And this is in North Elmview along the shores. They call it North Bank. And it's pretty run down and not used much, and use street characters like Mettel. It's a good place to be working on your car or something. It's a quiet part of the crappy part of town. Do you have a character name, Andy?
No. I was struggling.
Okay. That can come up and play. No one's met you yet. No one's called you anything. You haven't called yourself. We keep it fluid. That's where it's going to start. So we can do as much of a session 0 as we want and then roll into some role playing. That's the way I see us working today.
Sure.
If you display powers, that was the other consideration in the campaign world in the background is people demonstrating superpowers. They're called enhanced entities, and there's a Federal Bureau of Enhanced Entities, the FBEE. Similar as the FBI, but their responsibility is registering, tracking, and arresting enhanced entities that do a crime. They were designed to deal with that. If you do display powers, like you characters sound like that have the option of not being registered or choosing to. You sound like really under the radar people that would not bother. But I need to know that. I'm an
under-the-radar guy. I don't want excuse me, I'm playing a lady. I am an under-the-radar person. I don't want to be noticed. I don't want a social security number. I don't want to pay taxes. Definitely trying to live in the sub-economy. The more I can be unseen, the happier I am.
Andy, do you have a regular alias name for your character yet?
I am... No.
No?
To be honest, I was struggling with even the basic concept that I have now.
Mm-hmm.
Just because lack of inspiration. I mean, I'm not blaming it on anything. It's just character creation is 90% inspiration.
It's definitely
10% math.
Exactly. If you have a concept, the character builds itself.
Yep.
If you're looking at the back of the book at all the powers, you're like, crap.
So I was only inspired a couple of days. And then I struggled with the math thing that I mentioned, but having the extra points now, I'm feeling a lot better about it. So it's flowing pretty easily.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more of an under the radar person, but again, it's more of an accidental under the person because I'm where the wind takes me kind of guy.
Yeah, you haven't been brushed up against anyone would inquire about
Who
your
would push me
credentials.
one way or the other. Quite frankly, if I ran into Mike's character first, Mike's character would probably get me to side with, well, stay under the radar.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go, okay, if you say that. I mean, you look honest.
I see it this way that I mean I've written a very what do you want to call it? This is someone who's skirting the anti-hero edge about here to do a job, smuggler by occupation, right? And as I put in the character synopsis, run into a couple of bad things. So the more I can stay under the radar, the happier everybody is. And yeah, there's a federal bureau of people investigating people like me that I want to be on the other side of the street.
Mettel, what's your motivation for heroing? Because that is, I'm going to have bashing in, killing combat.
Yeah.
I have no problem with a fine-grained. I like that, actually. That makes it very easy to let you guys let loose and bang hell out of each other. And then when it gets gritty, we just switch it over. Guns, knives, and fire and electricity are going to be killing attacks. Why do you stick your neck out? Why are you heroing? Because you won't get any hero points. If I like the rule, if you use any killing attacks, you don't get hero points for that session. I like that. It's very simple. That's a very simple mechanic. It's kind of like gold for XP in Dungeons and Dragons. I think it does what I would like it to do. It enforces a little bit of change your attitude towards heroic feats because you need the currency. I like the hero points. I like the way that compares against champions pushing. I think that's a little more narrative and a little more open in Megs here.
So what gets me out there is, so I'm liking your seedy and dark city, your Gotham City, as you put it. And I'm looking for the plot hook of, I don't know what's going on, somebody wants something moved, and almost a reluctant hero to say, you're involved with a circumstance, you know some people, you move things back and forth, oh no, there's been a raid, oh no, this has happened, so that you end up throwing in with the group of, look, there's a gunfight, you find yourself on one side of the street in a gunfight, you suddenly find your sides forming. So essentially selfish character looking for a plot hook. Like the first issue of every Rev of the Titans, right? One of the great upsides of doing either this or the Marvel version of it, it's very almost 80s, very kind of, I'm experiencing the world, let's dive in. So yeah, if you're smuggling things for people, or if they're not like your customers, but you see something bad's going to happen to people in a shoreline, you're either going to help them or you're going to be the bad person for not helping them. And Mettel, which I'm loving the spelling of Mettel, for someone with magnetic control, it's someone about strength of character. When can you stand by and when do you stand up is part of her central argument. When do you do your job and you're like Frank from the movie The Transporter?
Yeah.
And when do you have to stand up, right? Actually, yeah.
Frank is a good model because he has a code.
He does. So Mettel doesn't have the level of code that Frank does, but it's that question of when can you stand by and when are you a bad person if you stand by? And she struggles with this, right? Her major mode of interaction or combat or whatever is going to be throwing heavy things at you because it's all magnetic control. It's her only really combat operative power. But she's also hard to hurt for any period of time because that's a lot of regeneration. She can be kind of risky. So yeah, like Frank, when do you stand back and say this is none of my business and when do you have to step in? And if she does have to step in, she's fully aware that she can either send guns flying across the sky or swing a car across a parking lot at you. Makes it easier to be brave when you know that you can just throw a Chevy.
Yes,
right?
it does. Yep, that's...
It's okay. I give her a relatively short equipment list of some pretty magnetic control things, including the steel tank boots. And the idea that she has two dress modes. She's either in coveralls and you can't tell that it's a woman or what's going on, drops the coverall, she's in party clothes, she can disappear in a minute. Which is going to put her in contact with all of those people. And in a smuggling scenario, if you've got drugs or human trafficking or whatever, the people you know from the club side, because, okay, you're out, you're drinking, you're dancing, you run into all those terrible, seedy sides of things. When can you let that go and when do you have to say, I'm not having this? Right? And this is her struggle point. What makes her heroic is how much can you ignore evil and how much do you have to act?
That's good. Mask. How does she disguise her secret identity when she's throwing things? Does she bother or not?
So Yeah, I made that graphic up. You can draw. I have no talent with a pencil. I'm actually pretty good with Photoshop. So
Oh,
the
fantastic!
the point is she'll dress up in a boiler suit, like the big kind of work coveralls you see the city guys,
Yeah.
and any number of hats. So it's a very big, bulky, obscuring physical costume, just like coveralls and the hat slung low, so that when she drops out of that, you don't associate it. She doesn't cover her face.
Yep, she's
right,
like
but it's all body
Mark.
camouflage. Plus, I made her attractive, so she's what do you want to call it? Fine and curvaceous. No one's looking at her face in the coveralls.
Your character, Andy, would be down near the waterfront. I had two ideas. One of them, you say you're kind of creepy, and the neighborhood knows that you're creepy, and so the gang of local kids swept out to set up a kind of a half basketball court. And so they asked you if you would, not always, but every once in a while will ask you, especially if they're going to be playing in the evening, if you would hang out, because then no one will bother them. None of the gangbangers will come and try to steal their basketball. That's why their moms say, don't go down there. They're just going to steal your basketball again.
And the bug guy keeps them from stealing their stuff. I love it.
They know that you're like creepy, and they haven't told anybody, but they're like, hey man, yeah, we're going to go play basketball. You got time? Can you hang out so we don't get robbed?
To be fair, that's my character's motivation, is helping the little guy. Kind of the opposite of you. You're always questioning if I should reach out. I would reach out before I even thought that I should or should not.
Yeah. So
this sounds like an awesome combination. I'm going to grab coffee, guys. I'll be back in 1 minute.
No worries. If you want to use a name generator to get a regular name for them.
I have plenty of names. I mean, it's not a...
This drawing will actually give you a scale.
Okay.
There's the derelict building, the arrow that says derelict building. That's the building where the basketball court is. You can see I drew it. It's a 1x2 action point size. Stewart River to your right. Train track, switching yards. The derelict building, and then each one of these squares is 20 yards. That's the opening area. That'll give us a visual. We actually have a scale. We can throw things on that. This building would be the eastern portion, the bottom half of the building. Old railroad cars and other railroad trash. The ceiling is quite high. Any glass windows ringing the place, the glass is all broken out. They had to sweep away concrete and garbage to give themselves a nice enough spot.
Any railroad tracks by any chance?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Good.
There's actually railroad tracks that go into the south side of the building, away from where I've got the old switching yard. There are tracks between this building and that. This derelict building looks like it was a maintenance place or repair facility for railroad equipment back in the day.
Saying that this is such a fun luxury for me to not have to be the game master, I would generally write up like a paragraph or 2 paragraphs of this is the game prompt, what I always call a primer. Mm-hmm. So before each major segment of it, we'd get the picture of Mettel. They're all just kind of inspirational as opposed to anything functional. So I like your opening structures. I like the setting. I feel very dangerous there. And one of the shticks I like for Alex is, especially in a waterfront, because I was looking at your map on the top of the screen, is Alex comes in quietly over the water, so you don't know she's coming. It's the smuggler stick, right? To say you don't know where she came from, and she can't per se fly, but with that much magnetic control, that she's just someone who can just appear quietly. And I plus a train yard. God, couldn't be any. I'm having a hard time thinking of a place I'd be any more dangerous.
And I was thinking of this before you guys came up with characters, and everyone's going on the streets with the little guy down in the grungy part of town. I'm like, well, that writes itself. That's okay. On the map that I'm presenting now, it's the same one with the bigger area with less detail because I ran out of time. That's the end of the pier near the top. And the brown line is sandy, rocky shore. That end of the pier is kind of crumbling, and there's a sewer drain that comes out there. And it's low tide, and that's why you got a mud bank there. Otherwise, the Stewart River is really deep, strong current, this close to the ocean. Capital City, Champions Hudson City. I call it Capital City because it's got a map. I usually use it for the map, of course, because I don't want to make a city map. It has all the neighborhoods. And like any other good setting book, I got to make up all the interesting stuff, but it's nice to have some names to pull from the neighborhoods. And we have started to build up, creating our living world that's been responding. Some things you would have noticed in the news was there's a shuttle, criminal enhanced entities. They put them on a space shuttle and they fly up to Starhold, which is an orbiting satellite jail. Doesn't fly that often, but when it's a big deal, it's in the news when someone's being incarcerated. And the simple logic of having Starhold, a satellite, is that if an enhanced entity wants to get out, they're going to have to be able to survive space and re-entry into Earth's atmosphere. I think that's the motivation, not to do anything you will kill yourself. Besides all the restraints. But the latest shuttle that was going up there exploded.
Exploded? How high up exactly?
It was way high. It was getting in synchronistic orbit with Starhold. And then it had a catastrophic malfunction. No one knows why. It exploded. So that was all in the news. I think it was just 2 days ago. 2 days ago, there was an active shooter in the downtown spraying the Black Lives Matter protester. So that's just 2 days ago. That was all over the news because there was active shooter was taken out by a man-sized frog. The FBEE in Capital City, it now has, for the first time, they have a couple of enhanced entities on their squad, and they're in the press. Knockout and Super Frog.
Super Frog is with the FBEE?
Yep, and Knockout. She's looks like a European tennis pro. She's hot as well, and she's a brick. She lifts up cars and throws them around.
Okay.
So
sounds like something to avoid.
They're the public face of enhanced entities these days in Capital City. The other what's been big in the news is whole minority neighborhoods getting burnt. That there's an arsonist out there burning their neighborhoods down. The citizens are up in arms because they accuse the cops of being complacent, if not involved in it. So the tensions are through the roof.
Hey, do we have any idea if this is I get that they're ignoring the arsonists. Is this like people are driven out of their homes kind of deal? There's just, how bad is it?
It's burnt to the ground with massive loss of life when it happens.
Oh God, okay.
And it's
a really bad kind of arson.
It's happened 3 times over the last 8 months.
Okay.
The last one was on the 5th, Moscow West. 3 blocks in Moscow West went up in flames. The mayor's saying they're doing everything, and he's blaming the ineffective FBEE not being able to, or the FBI being able to protect the citizens, and there's a lot of finger pointing going on.
So something I wrote in my origin story before I knew your plot was about I had a problem transporting an accident, a weapon of mass destruction. Seeing the concern of you don't want to shit where you eat, so to speak. That don't want to be involved in anything where someone is wrecking the town where I live. So I'm seeing because I like your setup. I want to very much avoid funding any terrorist that's wrecking assisting transporting any of these domestic terrorists that are wrecking the place.
Yep.
Because smuggling is one thing. Smuggling for someone who wants to destroy it is a completely different thing.
Damn right.
All right. I'm with you in your town. I like it.
It's where you keep your stuff, after all.
Yeah, it's where you keep your stuff. You're down here also, Mettel. Usually you're farther west where you pick up work. But rumor on the street is something big with the Nubians is going down, and to stay away from that section of town. You're at the end of Pie Meter Street, so it'd be just west from where you guys are. South Jefferson Street, the intersection of South Jefferson Street north with the highway down that, right down in there on the shore is criminally controlled docks and enterprises. And
What controlled? I'm sorry, I missed the word.
enterprises.
Say-
Criminal.
Okay, criminal controlled. Okay.
Yep, criminally controlled. And now you're hearing why, because even though it's a ways distance, there's some orange fire on the horizon. Something is at least burning. There's a news van that drives by, the Channel 7 news van. Little or no traffic. Start with, there's 4 or 5 kids. One of them has seen something down on that sandbar that they think washed up on shore. This is 11 o'clock. Kids are out late these days.
Yep.
The kid is going down and he thinks he's found a GoPro. He's holding it up.
Okay.
It's like, look what I found. I think it's the light's on. I think it's still recording. And then you hear a really guttural voice coming from the bank. You can't see anybody, but you can hear the voice saying, this is my turf. That's mine. You should give that to me. The kid screams and starts going running for the bank. Some large person, or maybe it's 2 people.
Yep.
It's hard to see in the dark. Grab them by the legs to pull them into they came out of the drain, the sewer, big
God.
sewer drain there. And they're pulling the kid, say, give that to me. This is my turf. You stay away. That's mine. I claim it.
Am I within a quarter mile of this?
I imagine you're just sitting on the hood of your car, listening to the radio, and you see this going on. At least hear it.
The the GoPro they're fighting over? I would like to latch onto it and pull it too high in the air. Pull it out of the kid's hands and away from the troglodytes or whatever they are. So what they're fighting of, I'm going to pull out of the fight.
Okay. That's easily done. I call that an automatic action. We don't have to roll for that. The person gets really angry. He said, what do you do? And he throws the kid into the river. Come back.
I go after the kid.
Yeah, you dive in the water.
Yep.
You dive in the water. You stay away from that. That's mine. And he runs down. Doesn't look well clothed. He must have some body tattoos. He's got these big black stripes on him.
If Andy's rescuing a kid in river, any sense this guy has guns or metal stuff on him?
Actually, no.
Okay.
No, he's lightly dressed or running around naked.
And we're at the rail yard, is that right?
Yes.
So I would like to intercept him with a steel tie or a barrel or whatever I can find lying around and sweep him the opposite direction of where Andy is rescuing the kid in the river. Like, I want him to land in the river the far other way from where he's intending.
Is that a ranged attack? Do we call that a ranged attack?
That is a ranged attack, and it's a dice hack.
Your effect value?
Magnetic control is 8, so that would give me an acting and an effect value of 8.
And that would be going against his dexterity.
Yep, his opposing and his resistance. His opposing is very likely dex.
Any hero points being spent?
Not at this time.
Not at this time, same here.
I'm trying to surprise him.
You're going to surprise him.
Barrel, or what did I actually grab to hit him with?
Barrel, you said barrel.
Nope, if there's a barrel, I'll take it, yeah.
Yeah, there's a barrel.
Okay.
Yeah. Spend a couple hero points, get what you want.
So, roll of a 12, did not spend hero points.
Yep, that's hits. Looks like you need a 9 or better.
If I needed an 11 and I rolled a 12, I got no column shifts. That's a hit with no shifts.
You needed a 9.
Oh,
That's
I needed a
why
9, it's one column shift. Yeah, it's one
Okay.
shift.
And that's against his body.
His body, if I want to hurt him, I'm wondering if he's just as heavy as a normal guy. I just want to, send him flying. So I want to go against his weight. I don't want to hurt him. I just want him to go upriver a ways.
He's got normal weight. He's a big guy, but he doesn't exceed the weight of 2.
Okay. So given a weight of 2 and a magnetic control of 8, with one column shift, I believe I could send him a couple hundred yards up the river.
You're sending him up the river.
Yes, I'm
Sorry.
sorry.
I found that way funnier than I probably should have.
No, it's okay. Know if this guy needs to be hurt or not. I don't want to hurt him. I just
Right.
He goes, when you smack him, you hear him yell, "Help me!" Splash! As he splashes up the river upstream. So he'll probably be floating back down. He's got the current with him.
Andy now has time to rescue the kid in the river, and I'm going to pull the device from earlier, pull it close to see what it is.
It's a GoPro. It
is a GoPro. Okay.
It's been recording. You hear, and someone else or something comes out of the drain. "I'm coming, Bak-Trak! I'm coming! Where are you?" And it scampers up the bank.
So is that zebra-looking guy the guy I threw in the river?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, and this is the guy.
Oh, that guy will be a problem.
Yeah, I don't think it doesn't have a gun, but it looks like that. That's really a bizarre looking creature. At least the zebra guy is a zebra guy. You can tell he's a guy. He's big.
Right.
He doesn't have tattoos. He looks like he's got stripes and he's a bit furry. But this is wires and reptile skin, alligator-like looking, pretty horrifying. And it comes clonking up onto the end of the pier there, and Bak-Trak, I'm coming, I have your position. And it spins to you, Mettel. Hostile intent detected.
Oh, God.
Retrieving recording device. So it's like talking out loud to itself.
I put the camera in my pocket and I get 2 of my big ball bearings out. Is this thing coming at me?
It's spraying you. It's going to
spray. Oh, it's actually shooting at me. Okay.
It's pulling up all the remnants of gasoline and dirty oil out of the concrete and tar and asphalt surface. It's actually he's pulling out like it's a sponge. He's sucking up these the chemicals from the ground, the petroleum garbage, and it's going to spray it at you.
Okay. I guess roll for initiative.
Yeah, he's got the initiative. Okay. We just roll 1d10.
1d10 on top of your initiative number, right? 20. So my base is a 19. I rolled a 2, which gives me a 21.
Yeah. Okay, you have initiative. Andy, you can roll initiative too. Might as well get you into combat time. You're seeing this. You can see this from the water.
All right. I'm still tweaking my characters, but I've got a pretty solid. It's been ages since I've done this, so I apologize for.
That's good. Oh, good.
Yep. Game, man. We're all getting started.
It is 1d10 plus my
initiative
action attributes. So yep. 13 in my action attributes. I get an 8, so a 21.
You also have a +2 if you have martial arts. You have a standing bonus of +2.
Mm-hmm. I kind of got rid of my martial arts.
Oh, okay.
The version I showed you had martial arts, but that went away. I was going to rely now more on my animal mimicry for my powers. Though I might add it back in because I kind of like having it, but I don't know. I'm in a state of flux right now.
Mettel, you are going to send some ball bearings at this creature?
Yes, I'm going to launch a ball bearing at him with my magnetic powers.
Well, dexterity. This thing has resisting.
So opposing value, dex, resistance is body, right?
It's his spray of acid right now, chemical acid.
Oh, is he defending himself with the acid?
Mm-hmm.
That's going to give him a very high resistance.
Yeah, you're looking at 10.
Okay, so what's his opposing to see if I can get the shot across?
Oh, I see. Yeah, 4.
Okay.
Dexterity
so
of 4.
So it should be easy to hit and hard to hurt.
Yes.
So I rolled an 11. So acting value of 8, roll of an 11.
Yeah, and you needed a 7.
Okay, so I hit him.
Yep.
But does that actually do any damage, or does his acid spray destroy the ball bearing?
Oh, it destroys the ball bearing. Yeah, it shreds him.
Okay, gone.
And is that his action, or does he get to also make an attack?
So,
actually, he just can't use his acid spray.
So everybody gets 1 dice and 2 automatic actions in any given phase, right? If he's using his acid spray power defensively, yeah, that's going to take up one of his automatics. He can still use a dice action, but that power has been used.
Yeah, got it. Asphalt that you're standing on starts to liquefy. Power that he's using against you is action of 5.
Okay. I have an opposing of 6, and I'm just trying to leap. What is there, a building right next to me? Is that what that is? Building on one side, river on the other?
Yes.
If I leap off the asphalt, is there a way to get on the building? Because I've used my magnetic power. All I have is leaping right now.
Yes,
right?
yes, you could leap up to the top of the building if you like.
Well, that's what I mean. I just use my magnetic power. So I can't use that to defend myself. I'm just jumping like a normal person. I can jump into a building, or if I can't, I'll jump into the river. I'm trying to get off the asphalt.
Okay, not a problem. You can jump into the building.
Opposing is 6. My resistance is 5. He would need, I believe, a 13 to hit me. Oh no, his acting is 5. He would need 11 to hit me.
He's going to burn 5 APs. 2 dice, right?
Yes.
Don't want to chintz him.
Yep. The only thing that's 1 die is initiative. Every other roll in the game is 2 dice.
17 plus 5 is...
That's a lot of columns. Was he trying to catch me in the asphalt, or was he trying to roll it over me, or...
It's sticky. Grabbing your
okay.
feet, miring you in the asphalt. It liquefies and then it stops and then it goes hard.
Oh, good. It's a lot of columns against me. He's got me solid.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, go ahead and do the math. Work it through.
That's 4 column shifts.
It is,
I'm
yeah.
coming. I'm a coming.
Good, good.
What was
I gotta rescue the kid first, and I'll be right with you.
What's your resistance?
My resistance is... My opposing is 6. My resistance is 5.
5. Okay. Yeah. All in.
Okay.
He's
like
got
how...
you encased, automatic. I went to... What did I go? I went over to the A's and a +1. I see. I get it. 7.
7 APs, right. So if he wants to entirely encase me, my resistance is 5. He has entirely encased me. Was he trying to cover me up over my head?
Nope. Just legs. Up to your knees.
Yep.
Andy, is there any action you would like to take this combat round?
All right. So here's my thing. I have animal. Okay. I need to talk through this a little quickly. I apologize. I'll try to be as brief as possible. I have animal mimicry at 8. I'm using it for insects only, but I didn't take any limitations on it because that gets weird with what does mimicking a spider mean. So I'll just mimic animal and then call them spider power or animal power or insect powers just to get that job done. So right now I'm kind of using my animal mimicry to walk on water like a water bug and just reach in, grab the kid, and then running to shore. That's what I'm doing, saving the kid. I will be right with you as soon as I get to shore.
Okay. Your action, you'll be able to get to the shore and get bedraggled Billy out of the river.
Yeah.
I made my own. I got it laminated.
Oh, nice.
I got some benchmarks because you always need to do benchmarks.
The old wheel.
Oh,
remember
God,
the
I didn't
wheel?
remember what
There's
version
a
that is.
wheel? Oh,
Yeah,
when
they came in a box set, it had a wheel that you could like line them up, and it would tell you what the.
Oh, I'm gonna make that. I'm gonna.
I would have to dig it up, but I've got one of those someplace.
Excellent. I just thought I'd throw the table up there because we're working through how our numbers work, right? We're all working out the system.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
This is, of course, the big one that makes sense to me. Because if I have an 8 AP power, I have, what, a 6.5 ton lift, a quarter-mile range, all of that.
Yeah,
Go
I
ahead.
really like that. I really like the benchmark. So, the zebra dude swims and gets up on the bank as well. He's a little farther west of you. He came running up the sandbar. So he's kind of next to, he's real near his buddy, Zebra Man, and you've got him held fast there, Creepazoid! Good work!
Creepazoid. I love it.
You take the other one, Bak-Trak, and we'll have our property and defend our turf.
Let me know in his next phase, things I need to do.
Yeah. I think it is next phase. We've
Okay.
all taken an action.
So Creepazoid has put up this kind of acid spray between us, so I can't shoot at him.
It disperses. It's not persistent.
Okay. So I want to blindside him. I want to hit him from behind, and you just whatever variety of detritus might be on the ground, railroad spikes, old barrels, car engines, whatever's behind him, I want to hit him square in the back.
Okay. It just the modifiers to reflect whether he sees it or not, or does this dude get a perception check, or we'll go to blindside, of course, in the book.
Yeah. Give me 1 sec, I'm looking myself. That's what I was saying at the opening. We played a modified version of this game for so long. I'm trying to not say anything that's not actual BOHSE rules.
Right? I get that. There's my rule book. I know some people say the layout of this book is bad, but the actual content of the rules that you got to digest, it's not that big.
No, it's not. It's essentially one giant rule upon which you act after you add everything to it.
Yep. Blindside, type of surprise attack that can happen during combat. Okay, sensory powers such as full vision or perhaps a lucky glance in the right direction at the right time could make a character aware of an attacker's position. If the attack comes from out of sight or beyond the range of sensory power, then the character is blindsided. And his opposing value is shifted -1. Until you can locate the source of the attack. I gotta give him a universal modifier, correct? That's what I do. And when you're using perception, is it intelligence?
That's a perfectly good way to do it. Yeah, that's a real reasonable way.
Okay, and I'm gonna give it a resistance value is 6 to 4.
So I am using 3 hero points, so my acting and effect are going to be 11 in this case. Oh wait, no, sorry, the other way to do it, sorry. I'm using 3 hero points, it adds to my dice value, sorry.
Okay.
Yep.
So what's your... Okay.
My acting and effect are 8, it's my magnetic control, but I get to add 3 to my roll because I'm using hero points.
He doesn't see it coming.
Okay. So he gets a column against.
We haven't rolled initiative. We got to do that every phase.
Yep, sorry.
Creepazoid is burning 8 hero points. It's good use for the +8 to his initiative roll.
Okay.
His initiative is 13 plus 8 is 21, 22, 27. His initiative, this is 27. Take the other one, Bak-Trak. The person called Bak-Trak gets an initiative of 18. All right. Andy and Mettel, what's your initiatives?
16.
Yep. Initiative of 23.
23. And your total is 16, Andy?
Yep.
Okay.
Did you roll crap?
I rolled crap.
It sounds it. It sounds it. Creepazoid is going to try to do the same thing to you. He's making his dispersed acid attack coming up from behind you. So you can make a intelligence roll against. This one's going to be much easier because you're in combat. But you got your opposing value is a 4. Excuse me.
So this is Andy fighting Creepazoid's attack?
I thought
No, this is you perceiving
Yeah.
his. He's trying to do a blind side to you.
Oh, okay. So my opposing is going to be pretty darn low while I am stuck in concrete, right? That gives me 2 columns against, which is going to give me an opposing of oh shit, I haven't acted yet, so I can use my magnetic. I'm going to change my action then. So my intelligence is 5. I have rolled a 9 to spot the blind side. So that should make it if barely.
That does. So
Okay.
you will not be blindsided.
Okay, but he still gets to act first.
Yep. So he makes his attack,
Okay.
And it is a indirect acid attack for 10.
Yep. So give me 1 sec. I'm definitely changing what I'm doing based on that. So magnetic control, I can use things around me to add to my RV, my resistance value. Defend oneself by moving metal objects. Okay, so I'm going to use my magnetic control to get character adds the AP. So the OP is opposing value. So if I'm reading this correctly, I get to add 8 to my opposing value. I'm going to be very hard to hit because I'm sweeping all kinds of stuff in front of the attack.
Mm-hmm. So
it's going to make my opposing value 14 in this case. Railroad ties, old barrels, front of the building, it's all getting stuck in the way.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got to get a 15 or better.
Okay.
$17, and I add the 10 from the power, right?
Well, hang on. So his acting that 17 means he's just barely not hit me through my screen.
17 is my roll, but do I add the 10 of his
No,
power?
so his power is 10 is an acting value, right?
Yep, and that just gives him his column.
Right.
Yep.
So I've just barely avoided because I
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's going to smell really, really badly with all of the crap and the metal I pulled out, and he hits it with acid. This is starting to be a really gross place.
Yep.
And it didn't start that nice.
So you're at the 23 Mettel. You go next.
Yeah, now I can't do much. I am held fast, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my strength is only 3, and I just used my magnetic control to defend myself. I'm going to try to wiggle out. I'm going to try and just kind of pull my way free of it.
Okay. Its value is 5.
Okay.
Value is 5.
I've rolled a 12 with a dex of 6 and a strength of 3.
You're 1 short. You need
13.
So
so I partially wiggled my way free. Is this like a web glue attack?
It's a glue attack. It's glue.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I should have wiggled my way free partially, and next phase I should be able to wiggle myself free. Okay.
Zebra dude. His eyes begin to glow. Andy, and he goes, you're gonna feel the burn of my plasma streams.
I yell at him to be more thematic.
Right?
I have a theme. I'm sticking to mine.
Yeah, you got a good theme.
Sorry.
So he's at a 7. What's your dex?
My dex is 7.
Okay, so he needs to get 11 or better. 7, miss. Andy, what would you like to do?
I'm assuming the kid is safe. Like, I don't have to worry about him. He's at least out of the way.
No, he's next to you. He's nearby.
Dude, kid, run away.
Okay,
Get some common sense.
He starts to run away.
I don't suppose the Zebra Man is infected with something like mites or fleas or something.
He looks like some of his parts of his body looks like a human fishbowl. Like there's viewports in his body, and
oh, okay. So he's not nearly as Animal Man as I was picturing him. I apologize. All right, my goal is actually I'm going to charge at the duo because they're standing right next to each other, right? I will use my ammo mimicry to give myself the proportional strength shtick of an insect to get my strength up to 8, and I will punch not Zebra Guy, but the guy who's actually attacking the girl.
Okay.
I don't know your name, so I'm just calling you the girl.
Yeah.
But Mettel, because I'm like, Zebra Guy can't hit me. I'm going to help out the other person.
So I am currently in disguise. Can you guys see the graphic I just put up there in my share?
No.
No.
Okay. No, it's okay. I'll just
I think you can only do one at a time. Replace it. I don't know.
got it.
But I am my character is functionally done, barring approval. It's not gonna like set the world on fire or anything, but I kind of like it.
So I am definitely dressed in the coveralls look. So I'm in disguise, so to speak. Anyway, just the disguise thing. Go on, blast away.
What time of year are we?
It's either May 8th or May 9th. I'd have to look at my campaign calendar. So it's hot. It's really hot and sticky for early
Right.
May.
So I'm actually probably just in like a t-shirt and shorts because I was at just hanging out.
Yeah.
All right. So I have to make a attack with a dex of 7 on
His dex of 6. Looks like a 13 or better.
So if Andy has a 7, the other guy has a 6, he needs to roll a 9 to hit, right? Because he has the higher dex.
I have the higher dex.
Right.
Oh, but doesn't that go to just the shift to...
I admittedly, I met it a little bit. I hit 7 because it's a breaking point.
And so what does that give you? You're going against a 6. Okay.
Right.
That's a 7 or better.
And I got a 14.
14.
2 columns in his favor. Yeah.
Yep.
So my strength is an 8 for my effect. And so it goes up 2 columns to a from an 8 to an 11 column, right?
So what is his resistance value?
Resistance value is going to be its body, and it's 10.
So his resistance is 10, right? So 10 versus 8 is going to start as a no damage, but he gets 2 columns in his favor. So he's going to do 3 points.
Sting him!
That's the scariest water spider I've seen in a while.
You notice his back legs are reversed like hind quarters of a zebra or a horse. And his hands are more hoof-like than manipulative. And he kicks his feet and comes running at you.
Oh, and I will tell him, we don't have to do this. We can all just, stop hitting each other at any time now. It'll be lovely.
You're in my place. This is our place. You go away.
Well, let's talk about that. Let's put that on the table.
And he comes running down like he's charging at you. So his acting value is 6. He's going to burn 5 hero points.
This is the Creepazoid guy, right?
No, this is Zebra Dude.
Zebra Dude already attacked me this round. He laser blasted me.
I thought that was last turn.
Nope. So I think everybody's gone this turn.
Everyone's gone.
Yeah,
Okay.
we might be done, but I'm just saying he already got me this round.
Oh, good. Okay.
Or, quote, got me.
He got me. Somebody got me.
See, I like the actual hero name Bug because it's very diminutive, but I also, what do you guys think? Is that too close to Pillbug?
Well, I'm not using Pillbug. That was the character I didn't use. Please feel free
Oh,
to
okay.
use
I thought somebody else was going to use Pillbug.
Nope.
So I actually like the name Bug because it's like, it's short, pointless name for a short, pointless character. Goes with the theme I'm working with.
He's entertaining, though. I'm enjoying the Bug so far. I only have 17, so I don't have a lot to spend. I know these guys seem to have a lot more hero points than I do.
Woot!
Or they just spend them indiscriminately.
Yeah.
I don't have many at all, so not spending a lot.
So my initiative is 28, including the HP spend.
Mine is 25. I maxed out.
The heroes go first.
Okay. So I'm going to go back for the attack I wanted to do last time, and I'm going to try and blindside him by hitting him with that big section of concrete and rebar.
He doesn't see where this one's where it's coming from.
Oh, I got an actual double, so it was 2 2s.
Ooh.
So, and then rolled an 8, so a total of 8 and 4 is 12. God, doubles, and I still only got a 12.
Mm-hmm.
Acting and effect value are both 8.
And it's his dexterity, right? 6.
Yep. And I got to call him in my favor because he didn't see the blind side.
There you go. Yep.
Okay. So let's see. His dex is 6. I rolled
Maybe 1 column shift. His body is 10.
So my 8 versus his 6, and I rolled a 12, so that gives me 1 column shift. My effect is 8. His body is 10. I've done 2 points of damage.
Yep.
Okay.
That's Creepazoid. Creepazoid. Ooh. He doesn't
He's
like
tough.
getting hit. He doesn't like getting hit.
Yeah, but he's like hitting a train car. The guy's tough.
Actually, you do 3
I was like-
because I was looking at the wrong sheet. His body, Creepazoid's body is 8.
So I would do 3 points of damage, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Then I would have done slightly more as well, but I'm not stuck on that.
No,
Bug?
but you were fighting Zebra Man.
No,
Yeah.
I wasn't. I was
Oh.
fighting Creepazoid because I said I was trying to help you, and I was ignoring Zebra to
Got
do
it.
so.
Got it. It's okay. We're all still learning here as we go.
It's
Yeah.
fast moving. This combat is just, we've done more than I did in 3 sessions of Champions. Already. Yep.
I love Champions, but I'll
I
tell
know.
you, be the first to tell you, it is the slowest combat system ever created by man.
Yeah, and that is kind of that I should have known. That goes against the way I like to run any game. I try to keep some kind of pace going, and so
Right,
the game fought me a lot on that.
Is that helpful? Putting the sheet, the screen sheet up there, just kind of while we're all learning it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bug.
I
see.
will once again throttle Creepazoid
Okay.
all the time, trying to convince him we really don't need to do this.
Oh, as an automatic action, I want to try and continue to creep free from the concrete that's around my legs.
Oh,
Okay.
dude.
Okay.
Double 8s
Whew.
and then 11. So 16 plus 11. So 27.
Whew. Acting value of what now?
7.
7. He burned 6 hero points to get his opposing value to 10.
Yep.
But-
And you rolled a. Would you roll?
27 all totaled.
3, 4. 4 column shifts.
Okay.
And just to be clear, this is obviously bashing. I think my character's verbal, at least, very, very clear. I'm not trying to kill anybody.
Yes. What's your effect value?
My effect value is 8 right at the moment.
Okay, and so its body of 8.
Whew. 1, 2, 3. By my reading, that's 5 points of damage. I don't know if you're seeing exactly the same.
Because I got to do the 4 column shifts, right?
Right.
He's knocked out before he goes down. Little insect leg pokes out of his body and starts clicking some electronics on its forearm. It says some type of TV line or whatever. Like from a TV action show. I probably should look some up so I can build a bank of quotes, and I'll do that. But something on like, you'll rue the day, and he collapses unconscious. And
Where's
I don't want to rule anything, man. Just let's talk.
and then
Where's your
Bak-Trak.
zebra friend?
Bak-Trak is going to. He yells, "Creepazoid, no!" And picks him up and shoots an energy blast at you, Bug, because you just took out Creepazoid. He's attacking at a 7. What's your dex?
7.
7.
It's an 11 to hit. Yep.
11.
I think I'm going to develop a fear of water bugs the way he's totaling people. Wow.
All right.
To be fair, that was just a really good roll.
It was. It was.
He gets a 16.
Okay.
That hits.
So that's 3 or 2 column shifts.
2 columns. So 1 for 13, 1 for 15. He doesn't get to 18, right? So 2
No.
column shifts.
2 column shifts. Okay.
So what's his effect value?
His effect value is the same. It's an energy blast for 7.
7.
Yeah.
My body is 8, so
Body's
We're
8,
in
so
the
I get
same.
2 column shifts, 4 points of damage.
Correct. Oof.
That's
Okay.
gonna leave a
Plasma.
mark.
Yep. It's hot. It's plasma hot, like you've just been hit with a plasma blowtorch. And it goes out like this.
So okay. Is everyone acted?
Yeah, Creepazoid went down, so he's unconscious.
Yep.
And you hear from the sewer drain, "I am coming, Creepazoid."
This is not
So
what we need.
It
Oh,
called it called someone else. It called another mutant thing, yet
Okay.
to be seen. So
Is it initiative time?
it is.